Are you lucky enough to have a dedicated place in your home for your harp or harps? I certainly am. I have a whole room here where I can practice and I can also do my harp music recordings. Today, I'd like to take you on a tour of my harp room. Welcome. Here is my harp room. Used to be our son's bedroom before he grew up and moved away from home. So you can see I have my corner. There's the corner where all the music happens. And I have my big harp situated so I can look out the window. I have my harpsichle over here on the side. And nice comfy love seat that opens up into a sleeper when we have company. Storage cabinet, lots of drawers. It gets very dry in the winter in New England, and so I keep a humidifier running all the time. And in the wintertime, I can barely get the level up to 30%. Right now we're around 45, which is terrific. We've had a rainy May, but you can see a little bit of my view. There's a field behind us, and I have a bird feeder set up where I can see it and watch the birds. We have lots of wildlife. Beautiful open field, big hill across the way, and today it's a pretty nice semi-sunny day. If you're wondering about this blue paper up here, when I'm recording, I get a glare on the photos that are on the wall back here. And so I put the blinds down, and then that blue paper covers up where the light gets in around the edges. So I have a tripod behind my music stand, so when I'm doing practice togethers, I use my phone, so I don't have to move the harp. But I have a different setup when I'm recording music that I'll show in a little while. I have a nice music stand. It's called a rat stand, R-A-T. I have no idea why, but it has these legs that go forward. And you can see the harp goes right over one of the legs, so I can get the stand nice and close. While I'm looking down there, you can see I have a page turning pedal, which I rarely use because it takes a little more coordination than I normally have. My little table just with odds and ends of things I need, the humidifier and my tuning wrenches. I also have an effects pedal, which I sometimes use when I'm playing around mostly. This is my harp. It's a triplet Catalina, 34 string harp that was made in California. I had it made to my specifications. It's made with cherry, and later I'll show the other side of it where I have a Celtic butterfly inlay. I have an amp. When I play out, which is usually in church, I use the amp, and that really helps a lot. Even though we do have mics in the church and speakers, the amp still helps. Then I also, here is my my shelves with all kinds of stuff. Things I've collected over the years, odds and ends. I keep a hygrometer. There we go. I used to be a school librarian, so there's the school librarian action figure. And here are all my music notebooks. You can tell, here's where my librarianship really shows, because I'm very well organized. I do not print out my music anymore. I have several books also down there. Now, what's covering up part of this bookcase is this corner unit, because this room is very small. It's only about 10 by 10. So I got this corner unit, and I will show you how it closes up. But it opens out, so it has bulletin boards on both sides. That's where my laptop is. That's where I have my morning coffee and read the news. And when I'm doing a YouTube recording, either of my playing or my talking to you all, there's a ring light up there on top of my printer. It's very compact, so it helps to be organized. These are some remnants from my days as a librarian. A poster of myself in my library back in the day. All my office supplies. I'm a coffee drinker, so when I was in Seattle, I picked up that cute Mona Lisa print in the Pike's Place Market in Seattle. There's my 2 mics that I use, and I'll show my recording setup separately from this one. My headphones. Some of my good librarian friends and I making read posters one time at a conference. And my husband and I also enjoy visiting Walt Disney World, and we are annual pass holders there. So we have all these magnets that we've collected over time. And I have my treasured name tag from the How to Harp retreat in Scotland that was hosted by Heather Downey last February. Coming around to this wall, family photos. Handy little side table. This is neater than normal, of course, because I'm showing it to you. And then another treasure made by Molly, one of our How to Harp community members, who made one of these lovely wall hangings for everybody who attended the retreat. So that brings us around to the door and out. I also want to mention my chair that I've had for a few months now. It's called a Musician's Friend, and someone online recommended it. It can fold up, the legs fold, and you can carry it. It has a padded seat and a padded back, and you can adjust the height by extending the legs. So it's really nice. You can experiment with your chair height, and if you need to play away from home and you want to be sure you have a chair that works well for you, this one has been great for me. And here's the front view of my harp and its lovely inlay of the Celtic butterfly. I think that's really pretty. Now, when I'm recording, things get all turned around, and I change the lighting, put on the little lamp there in the background, and resituate the harpsichord so it's in the shot. And as I said, I put the blinds down, and I have that little screen there. You can see, and right here, how my ring light will reflect off of things, but that's not going to be in the shot. what will be in the shot are these things on the wall. And I can even still see from this angle a little reflection in one of them from the window. And I don't usually have the overhead light on, so that would take that other reflection away. You can see the window's a problem. It's morning now, and that's an east-facing window. Okay, I guess I can keep that light off. So coming back around, you see the harp is gone from the music stand. And I did mention I don't use printed music most of the time anymore. I have a tablet that I use, which I'll show you. So now we come back around to the other corner. And this is where I sit when I'm recording. I have my harp chair. Over here is the mic I use for recording music. It's a Blue Yeti set to the stereo recording setting. And that plugs into my phone. And I just have an older phone here just to show the setup. My phone's over here, and it's on a little mini tripod, and you can see there's another mic up there too. That's a Rode mic, and that's not plugged in when I'm doing music recording. I use that one when I'm just doing voice recording, speaking. The laptop's here because my ring light has to be plugged into a USB port. So I keep my laptop semi-open usually when I'm recording. And there's the ring light up there. And the tablet I have on a little nice nifty little stand that I can keep here. So if I'm recording something that's not memorized, I have my music here. And if I had the laptop closed, I can push this shelf in so it's not sticking out so far. And that's just the little stand that I put the tablet on. It's great because you don't need a music stand, big bulky music stand. So let's see if I can, I'm going to, in a minute, turn around and kind of show you from the camera's point of view what that whole setup looks like. So when I'm recording, this is the angle that I use. If I were in the picture, I'd be right there on the chair. And of course, the harp would be tilted back. And now the camera is in selfie mode, and also for most of my videos, I use portrait mode, which slightly blurs the background and focuses in on me more clearly. So that's the setup for when I record. And now I'll switch over to the setup for editing. When I'm editing, I'm sitting in my ergonomic office chair at my corner unit on my laptop. I've transferred the video files from my phone with a USB cord onto my laptop, and I have saved them, and I will edit them in Movavi video editor. There's a free version of this software that you can use to learn how to use the program, and then there are numerous upgrades to it that you can add on as you want to do more things. I have purchased a subscription to it and have added a few things to add more transitions and other options. But basically, my editing process is pretty simple. I trim out the bad parts. I insert titles. I put transitions between scenes in. And then I save that and upload it into YouTube, where I add end screens and cards to the videos. And I upload them as unlisted until I'm sure everything's the way I want it, and I then schedule a date for them to go live. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of my harp room and seeing my harps and all the other equipment and furniture that I use here. Everything I've mentioned in today's video is linked below in case you're interested in purchasing any of those things. Also, if you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments and even share pictures of your own harp spaces. That would be fun for all of us to take a look and see where you are producing your harp music. In the meantime, please subscribe, share, and like this video if it's been helpful to you, and I'll see you again soon. Happy harping, everyone!